This is Zichru Simanim Gemara Basra Daf Kof Lamid Zayin, which when you spell that out, you get klaz. So that's going to be our klazit. So in our picture, we have this interesting looking fellow. Here is a Russia Arum, a cunning Russia. What's the advice that this cunning Russia is giving? That, as you see, what he's thinking is, when in case of Acharecha Leploini, that when someone gets a piece of land and he's told he goes to you, and then after you it should go to someone else, and then it should go to someone else, says the cunning Rasha. Explains Abaye, you Reuven, you got the land before it goes to Acharecha, sell it. Sell it to someone else, so that at least you'll be able to make off from it. And but he didn't realize that how is the person going to end up giving it away? Not by regularly selling it. He's lying on his deathbed, and he's going to try to give it away with a matnash chimera, which we will see has a fundamental difference. As a matnash chimera will apply, whether it's going to be b'shas misa or la'achar misa, we will see, and therefore it will not work. And he's laughing when he sees that we see someone trying to give away a cow, and the recipient, after hearing the matana amanas lahachzir, goes and is makdish that cow. So a third point about when someone gets given a gift with the condition that he has to return it, is the recipient allowed to give it to the Beis HaMikdash or not? So Dav Kuf Lamed Zayin, we have the class there, we have the Russia, the cunning Russia, the Russia Arum that's giving advice for in a case of Acharecha Leploini to sell it, and not realizing that he's going to end up with a Manash Chimra, which will not work, and laughing when the Matana Amanas Lahachzir is being hektish, being given to the Beis HaMikdash. So we go into point number one, which is Nechasei Lechav Acharecha Leploini. Teaches the Braiso, when someone gets a piece of land and then it's going to go to someone else, and the first person sells it. Says Rebbe, the Acharecha comes and takes it from the buyers. There's no sale. How can you sell it? It was going to someone else. But says Rashbag, no, Ein L'Sheni El Mashashayir L'Rishain. And if there's nothing given over, nothing goes to the second guy. The sale is good. There's nothing to be given over. Says Rav Yochanan, this is a classical machlekes whether Kinyan Peiros, Kinyan Aguf or not. Says Rish Lakish, no, that's not the machlekes, because in our case it's acharecha, and therefore that's the reason why it's implying that it goes all to the first guy and then to the second guy. We have a steer in Rav Shimon when he says you're not able to sell, but it would be good b'di'evet, and Abaye comes. The closet, the Russia coming out of the closet, labeled by Abaye. The Russia is he who gives the advice to sell, in this case of Acharecha. And then, but he didn't realize that it's going to end up trying to give it on a Manash Chimera. Rav Yochanan said that we follow Rashbag, but Rav Shimon agrees if you did a Manash Chimera, it does not work. Says Abai, you know why? Because Manash Chimera is only kind of la'achar misa, and Acharecha works the moment before misa, at the misa. So Acharecha is at that moment, and Manash Chimera is the moment later. Says Gemara, what do you mean? But Abai was the one that said it's chal im gemar misa. Rava was the one that said achar misa. Says the Gemara, Abai is chayzer, and he holds like Rava that a Manash Chimera is only going to be chal la'achar misa, which we prove from a case of get, which does not work in such a scenario. And finally, the Russia's laughing in this final exchange of the matana amanas lahachzir. Someone gives an esrog amanas lahachzir, you're able to be yotzei the mitzvah. So matana amanas lahachzir shema matana. Someone gives a shar. Could the person recipient go and give it to hektish? He says yes. It's also returned. What do you mean it's returned? You didn't return anything. Said Rav Nachman, what do you mean? He didn't lose anything. The physical act was returned. Concludes the Gemara, if someone says amanas lahachzir, any form of returning is sufficient. But he said, amanas lahachzir li, then you have to return something with value. So we have to have kof, lamed, zayin, we have the closet, we have the Russia, the cunning Russia, the Russia Aram, in the words of Abaye, coming out of the closet and saying, Acharecha leploini, sell it, be smart. But he didn't realize that he's going to try to give it as a matnash chimera on his deathbed, which will not work. Laughing at the matana manas lachzer that he tries to be makdish prior. Tav kof lamed zayin, the closet, the advice to sell, the matnash chimera, which doesn't work, and a matana manas lachzer that was given to a hektish.